Okay, Hotep. Back to what I was saying before about how communication issues start in the home. Of course, that's one example. Okay, of from the start or from the jump, us being taught not to really be able to fully express ourselves. And it's interesting because you shut a young one up. Then when you wish for them to speak and they don't speak, they get mad, right? Contradiction. So, also, that translates to school when a certain child or a certain progeny goes to school and they can't, or it can't fully be able to express themselves, in front of teachers or in front of grown-ups. And it happens because of things that start at home. Now, you have other examples where we may observe while young individuals not allowing themselves to tell the whole truth or the whole real of a situation. Instead, they just tell half of the truth. See, once again, that's when we're observing our parents, a mother or father, telling another grown up or another adult, supposedly, that, oh, this is this and this is that. That's not true and blah, 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 blah. However, as a child, we're observing the same thing. So what we are observing them tell the lie. Okay? So what that reinforces to us, that it's okay not to tell the truth or the so-called whole truth as long as you don't get caught. So, there's a lot of things that we can get taught while we're young, which brings us now to our present. When it comes to not being able to fully be able to communicate what we feel and what we really wish to do. And as I was saying before in the first video, it's interesting to me how we are breaking up or ending relationships and other things through text messaging, and it doesn't help when you got computers or when you have computer companies and other cell phone companies. Hey, you can text these many characters. Or you don't have to just use the regular phone numbers. You can flip it up and you got a little keyboard. So it is reinforcing to us subconsciously that we don't really have to communicate on a real level, verbally. So we can understand and really hear vibrationally what an individual is attempting to communicate to us. You see, it's important that we always be able at any time to be able to fully communicate what it is that we wish for others to know and understand about us. Communication is the foundation of any type of relationship, business, romantic, if that's the proper word to use, otherwise. It's through communication that allows another individual to get a feel of who we are to where they can say, I know them. If you're just texting back and forth, just because you send me a LOL and an exclamation point meaning that it's funny doesn't necessarily mean that's what you really mean. A lot of people do that to make it seem as though that it's not really that serious, but it really is. However, they don't wish to communication or communicate that to the other individual because they may get mad and they don't wish to hurt each other's feelings. Not realizing when you don't fully communicate what you really mean and what you really wish to get across, you are still hurting that person. Because in the end, they're going to know the truth, finally. So it's easier to go on ahead and just communicate what you really feel. And it doesn't help also when we have TV shows and different examples in entertainment that is teaching us to communicate improperly and push ourselves away. For example, there are songs out there that are actually communicating to other individuals, hey, to get what you want, lie to them. However, it don't teach you about the consequences that come in the end, And a lot of times, the consequences are not that great. And there's been situations where an individual has been killed or their family has been killed because an individual didn't truly express to them what they really felt. So let's get down to some of the reasons why we don't communicate well, or why we don't wish to communicate the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now, a lot of times it's because of the fact, from one perspective, we don't wish to tell the truth fully, because even though, let's say for example, we may not like a particular individual, however, there's something that they're providing for us that we feel that we can't get from another source. So we will do enough to keep that individual around so we can use them, and then when they can't deliver to us what it is that we wish to get from them, then we kick them to the curb. Okay? Then you have other scenarios where, especially in relationships these days, because I'm hearing a lot of people, brothers and sisters, and I've also had these challenges myself in some of my previous personal relationships with women, where you have individuals who just can't really, or don't have the ability to be able to tell you what it really is that they wish to get out of this particular relationship with you. A lot of times it can be that they really care and they just can't communicate it. However, at times I've discovered that that's a bunch of bullshit. A lot of times the individual wishes to use you in a particular way, and they know if they straight out and came out and said it, they knew you wouldn't be down for it. However, there are some individuals out there that will allow themselves to be used if they feel that there's something that they can get out of it. However, back to what I was saying, you have individuals who wish to use you in particular ways, and they know if they really communicated to you straight out, like, hey, I really don't like you, but you provide this for me and you make me feel like nobody else doesn't make me feel. However, I don't feel like I should be able to reciprocate to you totally and honestly what you would like. So what I really need you for, interesting word, is for you to just sit back, let me do what I want to do, and go from there. A major percentage of the time, nobody's going to go for that bull. And those people know that. That's why the games come in at. And the games and relationships have a lot to do with not saying what's really truthful. It has to do with saying what the individual wishes to hear, or you saying what you feel that individual wishes to hear, in order for you to be able to move on and get what you want, and to get what you wish out of the deal. And a lot of this has to do with the capitalistic mindset or spirit that predominates in this particular country that we know as the United States of America. Okay? We got to remember that the biggest business over here is slavery. And first mode of slavery comes through the mental. And in order to get someone to commit to something like that physically, you got to get them in the head first, correct? That's what the games are for in some of these imbalanced relationships. You got to allow this person to feel or sell to them a deal that's in the long run is not going to pan out for them. Okay? So, and then you have situations where the person wishes to communicate a particular thing, however, they don't know how. They've never seen any great examples as to fully be able to communicate openly and honestly. Why this is? There's a lot of reasons why. However, I've discovered that one of the main reasons why you have situations of that sort is because of the fact people have been convinced and seen in their previous experiences in their lives that when they fully open themselves up to really communicate to people and really say what they feel, the people that they've communicated to or communicated that information to, those people that they communicated with turned around and dogged them, turned around and used it as an advantage point to run them over. So then they get in this mode where they don't wish to communicate to others what they fully feel because of fear of being hurt. I'll continue this more in the next segment. What's up?